Hello, welcome back to the IELTS tutorial video. In this tutorial, we're going to study how to solve the list of headings problem. And also, you need to understand that list of headings is actually one of the most difficult type of questions in IELTS, and there are many people get confused in how to solve this problem. In this tutorial, I will want to show you how you can solve this problem based on the basic of paraphrasing. So you need to understand that IELTS is full with paraphrasing techniques. So paraphrasing is one of the important techniques in academic English because when you want to read fast or to try to find important information, you need to understand how to paraphrase sentences. Now, in order to be able to answer the list of headings, first you need to read carefully the instructions. So in here we were given the instruction that you should spend about 20 minutes on questions 14 to 26, which are based on reading passage 2 on the following pages. Here there are question 14 to 20, and the reading passage 2 has 7 paragraphs A to H. Now choose the correct heading for paragraphs A and C to H from the list of headings below. So you're given a list of headings actually, and you have to match with the paragraph, with the content of the paragraph, which heading that should go along with a certain paragraph. So that's uh, the general situation and the general assignment from list of headings. Now we come to step one. If you are given a list of headings, number one, do not read the passage, but you need to read list of headings first. So I want you to try to spend time. I'll give you about 2 minutes. I want you to read carefully 1 to 11. I give you time. Okay, this is very important for you to read here one by one. The scientists called for a revision of policy, an explanation for reduced water use, how a global challenge was met, and then irrigation system fall into disuse, environmental effects, financial costs of recent technological improvements, the relevance to health, addressing the concern over increasing population, a surprising downward trend in demand for water, and the need to raise standards and descriptions of ancient water supplies. Now, when you finished, reading list of headings, I want you to create a mental state to predict what kind of reading you're going to read. And here, at least, we know that the topic will be about water. Then we can predict maybe about how the water is preserved, how the water is purified, how the water is used, and many different things that relates to water. So that will be the first one that you need to understand to solve list of headings. Now we come to step two. After you finish reading list of headings and you try to create your own mental state, the important thing at the moment is to read paragraph A. Now I will give you time to read paragraph A, and as usual, if you see the title here, you have to build your mental state, so making every drop count. So that's about water preservations. Now, I want you to read through paragraph A first, and I'll try to give you time. Okay, first you need to understand that this paragraph actually explained to us the ways that we have learned here to manipulate water resources. So that's exactly the important information in this paragraph. And then we're given a very interesting fact. In here supplied the occupants of Rome with as much water per person as provided in many parts of the industrial world today. Okay, so when you take a look at this paragraph, now you need to begin to think. What is the important information here is about how we manipulate water resources. So these are all the information. And then the Roman Empire, the function of that line is actually just to give an example. So now you can directly go to the list of headings. I'll try to give you time, and then later on I will tell you which one is the answer and why. Okay, now we try to think the first Rome here. Scientists call for revisions of policy. In here we cannot find any paraphrase from the sentence learn to manipulate water resources, Roman Empire, we cannot find that. So again, this is all about paraphrasing. And here it says that at the height of the Roman Empire, nine major systems with an innovative layout of pipes and well-built sewers. We cannot find it. And here, Rome 2, an explanation for reduced water use. This is not about reduced water use as well. Number 3, how a global challenge was met. Is also not that. And number 4, irrigation systems fall into disuse. We don't talk about irrigation. Environmental effects, we don't talk about that. Financial costs of recent technological improvements, we don't talk about that as well. The relevance to health, no, we don't. Addressing the concern over increasing population, no, we don't. A surprising downward trend in demand for water, we also do not talk about that. The need for raised standards, no. But in 11, descriptions of ancient water supply and the descriptions. Can we find the descriptions? Yes, we can. It says that as sun gradually expanded, water was brought from increasingly remote sources, leading to sophisticated engineering efforts such as dams and aqueducts at the height of the Roman Empire. So there is a correlation between A and that heading because the heading actually paraphrased what is all being explained in the paragraph. Therefore, the answer for paragraph A is actually 11. And B, it's already done, but I usually suggest uh, the student to read B as well, although it's done, for the sake of the other problem, the other test, because uh, 14 to 20 we talk about the headings, and then 21 to 26 um, it's another test. But anyway, we don't really do this because it's already done. But at least I just want you to read it through, and I will want to uh, just review a little bit about the keywords. Okay, I give you time for 2 minutes. Okay, so In this paragraph, we can have the main message that the demand of water rose dramatically. That's during the industrial revolution and population explosion. And it says that we have more construction being done and how to control floods, protect clean water supplies, and then also irrigation, hydropower brought great benefits to others people. And in here, it says that food production, this is interesting, with pace of the soaring population mainly because of the expansions of the artificial irrigations. Then it's the growth of 40% of the world's food here. So it's all about the demand of water and how the food production actually um, can keep with the pace of human populations. We don't do it, it's already done. As an example, now let's go to C. I give you time. Okay, in here we talk about the dark side of the picture, in which the water services, the moment, is called inferior, and half of the world's population still suffer with water services inferior compared to the one in Greek and Romans. And it's been reported that the United Nations report on access to water reiterated in November 2001, more than 1 billion people lack access to clean drinking water. Then it says that some 2.5 billion do not have adequate sanitation services. And in here it says that there is a water-related diseases that kill 10 to 20,000 children every day. So this is all the picture, and try to find the heading. Again, you should find the paraphrased sentence or information here. Rome 1 scientists call for a revision of policy. It's not about that. And then an explanation for reduced water use. No, we don't. We don't talk about the reduced water use. And then Rome 3, how a global challenge was met. We don't talk about a global challenge. Irrigation system fall into disuse. We don't talk about irrigations. We don't talk about environmental effects as well. And 6, the financial cost of recent technological improvement. There is no technology there. But number 7, the relevance to health. This is something, but just you have keep this, but don't be too confident. You have to check the other. Addressing the concern over increasing population. It is not about that. The pricing downward trend in demand of water is also not about that. The need to raise standards is not about that. So it seems that the relevance to health is something we're looking for. Can we check? Is there anything related to health? Yes. It says here that the lack of access to clean drinking water, and they do not have adequate sanitation. It relates to health as well. So for C, the answer is actually for C, the answer is 7. So C, the answer is 7. Yeah. Okay. Now we come to part D. You go to paragraph D now, and I will give you time to understand paragraph D. I want you to underline the important words as well. Okay, so you need to understand the sentence that really umbrella all the other sentences. The main idea or the main intention of the writer writing this paragraph. It can be seen very clearly here that this paragraph is all about uh, the effect of water policy beyond the jeopardizing human health. So it talks more about what will be the impacts of the water policy that we have now. We have the 10 million people have been forced to move from their homes, and it says that a little warning or compensation. And it says here as well that more than 20% of freshwater fish species are now threatened or endangered because of the water dam. And here, certain irrigation practices degrade soil quality and reduce agricultural productivity as well. And then it says that groundwater aquifers are being pumped down faster than they are naturally replenished in parts of India, China, and USA. So it seems that these are all the the effect of what the situation is all about. So it can be seen here that the importance of this paragraph is to tell us about the effects or the impact uh, from the current situation regarding water. If you try to check here 1 to 11, then we will be able to see that the closest headings can probably we have like scientists call for a revision of policy, and then in here we have to get as well environmental evac, which you know are quite close. But now let's see which one has a more to say about the paragraph. When it says that scientists call for a revision of policy, we cannot find any word that can be paraphrased as a scientist in this paragraph. It just says that the consequences of water policies extend beyond jeopardizing human health. That's it. And there is no word or maybe phrase that uh, can give us a clue that this refers to scientists. So the answer for D, without doubt, is 5. So this is the answer for the 5. Okay, we continue to the E paragraph now. I want you to go to E paragraph. I will give you time. Okay, let's see what we can understand from this paragraph. At the outset of the new millennium, however, the way resource planners think about water is beginning to change. So this is very interesting. The focus is slowly shifting back to the provision of the human needs and environmental needs as top priority. So it seems that there is a shift in the priority. ensuring some for all instead of more for some water experts are now demanding. So in here we can say that water experts are now demanding that the existing infrastructure be used in a smarter way than building the new facility. So there is a shift of the way people begin to think, and it started by the water experts, in which in this case it's all scientists. So when you take a look at the choices here of the heading, if you try to take a closer look, the only way possible for us to match between the paragraph and the heading will be the first, the one that we were confused in the previous paragraph. So it says the scientists call for a revision of policy, in which it says that the importance of that policy should based on the principle some for all and not more for some. So the answer for E is actually 1. Now let's go to G. I give you time to think about G first. It's a bit long. You need to think the main idea, the umbrella factors that can wrap the other information under it. So let's check. What explains this remarkable turn of events? Two factors. People have figured out how to use water more efficiently, and communities are rethinking their priorities for water use. So here we talk about something exactly the same as F, but now it is explained that is water used. While this is about the water dropped, the water use dropped. So we begin to know that the explanation for this is people at the moment know how to use water more efficiently. So we can fit this with the explanation for reduced water use. So the answer is actually 2. That's for G. Now let's go to H. On the other hand, dams, aqueducts, and other kinds of infrastructure will still have to be built, particularly in developing countries where basic human needs have not been met. So it talks about the water facility, but such project must be built to higher specification with more accountability to local people and their environment than in the past. So this is interesting. With higher specification, accountability to people and environments in the past, and even in regions where new projects seem warranted, we must find ways to meet demands with fewer resources, respecting ecological criteria to a smaller budget. So it means now there is a higher standard, like higher specifications. That's all about this paragraph, telling us that's the essential of this information. So you can check in here. The need to raise standard seems to be something topping off the other because we need to raise the standard, and therefore the answer for number 20 is actually uh, 10. So This is all the explanation about list of headings. You need to understand paraphrasing is a power. Paraphrasing is a power to do the reading test. As long as you can find the paraphrased sentences, either in the heading parts that really relate to something that's being told or being written in the paragraph, then you're going to find the answer. Or in any, uh, you know, uh, different sentences in the heading that you can find, and then you need to relate it. Sometime we can find some paraphrased elements in the list of heading, but now you have to compare which one is more accurate, which one does picture the sentence that being written in the paragraph. As long as you can fix that, then you're going to be all right. Okay, so look forward to meeting you again in other video.